Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm from jennycarddesigns. Thanks so much for joining me today. My YouTube channel contains content that is intended to share paper crafting tutorials and inspiration with all of you. I hope that you enjoy. In today's video, I've got a really exciting project to share with you along with a brand new template book. I've been working on this book for quite some time, and this book shares tons of information about some of the card boxes I'd been sharing on my YouTube channel, along with many different sizes of boxes and bags. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my gift bag template number 1, and in this book there are several different sizes. So I'm just going to be sharing one of them with you today. So let's get into that project. This bag template has several illustrations to guide you along the instructions to create this bag. So first step, we're going to need 2 sheets of 12 by 12 inch pattern paper. And I'm just going to dig through this book here and figure out what pattern that I want to use for my bag. And in this instance, you can use some of those big 12 by 12 designs that you wouldn't normally know what to do with. So this is a great project to use up some of those large scrapbooking sheets. As well, you want to make sure that you have 2 of the same pattern. I think it just helps the bag look more clean and cohesive. I think it might look weird to have 2 different patterns, so we're looking for 2 of the same pattern. So I've gone through my book and I've picked out 2 patterns. This has a little perforated edge on the top that I'm just going to take off. I'm just going to fold over top of those little perforated edges and pop those pieces off. And then I'm going to grab my scoreboard and I'm going to follow my instructions. And my first score is going to be at 1.5 inches. I'm going to freeze right here for a quick second. If the orientation of the pattern on your paper matters, then pay attention here, because this first score that we're marking is the top of the bag, where it's going to be folded down to create the bag lip. So you want to make sure that your pattern orientation is the way that you want it so that your pattern is upright. This particular pattern doesn't matter, but just keep that in mind when you're working through your scores. Okay, so we're going to rotate the cardstock 1 turn and then score at 3 inches. Rotate again, score at 3 inches, and rotate one more time and score at 3 inches again. And then, because this is pattern paper with a white core cardstock, I find that in order to reduce the cracking, I'm going to go around and rescore on the other side of the paper just to help those folds so that they don't split the cardstock. So I'm going to repeat the scores at 1.5, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my second piece of paper and I'm going to repeat the scores. I want to make sure that my pattern is in the same orientation and start again at 1.5 inches, rotate, score at 3, rotate, score at 3, rotate one more time and score at 3 again. And then I'm going to flip my paper over and score at 1.5 and 3, 3, 3. You get the idea. Okay, so we're doing these 2 pieces of paper the exact same way. Once this is done, we're going to move to the next step. Now, the 2 pieces will look the same, but we're going to cut them differently. On the first page, in the template graphic, it shows you which parts you need to cut out. So we're just going to follow along those score lines and cut out those 2 bottom squares, making sure that the 1.5 inch piece is at the top. Okay, and we'll cut out those 2 bottom squares. Once that's done, we'll move to page 2 and cut out just these little tiny slivers. So we're just going to follow along the score mark and cut just a little tiny piece out. This is just going to help the bag fold together nicely so it's not bulky or pressing up against the seams or anything. Okay, so page 1 of our bag template number 1 is complete. We're going to turn the page and we're going to go to page 2 of our bag template. And now our next step is to crease all of the score marks. So if your paper is single-sided, you want to fold your flap to the inside. Because we're going to be punching holes through this, we want a nice sturdy top of our bag to put our ribbon through. If you have double-sided paper, you could turn that little strip on the outside of the bag for interest, and then you'll have like an extra fancy little pattern. But for today's purposes, I don't have double-sided paper. We're working with white core cardstock, And if you've watched my channel before, then you know that I have an addiction with those 12 by 12 paper pads that I just can't stop buying. So I'm trying to come up with ways to use all of those 12 by 12 books. I'm going to grab my bone folder and start creasing all of the score marks to create good sharp creases. So I'm going to score both sheets, and I'm going to take the opportunity here to make sure that I can train my paper to go in the direction that I want it to. I want to make sure that I create good straight 90-degree angles so that when I put my bag together, it's not going to be weird and wonky. So I'm using my bone folder to help me train the paper to go where I want it to go. So once that's done, I'm going to add some adhesive to seal down that top 1.5 inch lip on both bags. I just want to fold it down, get it out of the way, and make sure that it's adhered. And then when we go to crease the folds, everything will line up together nicely. Okay, so I'm using my bone folder to press in that adhesive and then retrain the score marks to make sure that everything is scored nicely. And then I'm going to move to the next step on my template, and that's to adhere the two pieces together. Now I'm taking the bottom of page 1 and I'm going to adhere it to the bottom of page 2. I'm going to apply adhesive on the side of this paper that has the pattern, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to line it up to the bottom of the other piece. And I'm just going to take my time to make sure everything is nice and straight. You don't want to rush this step because if it's not straight, nothing else will come together straight. So I want to make sure that this step is not rushed. So I'm going to grab my bone folder and press in that adhesive and then rescore those little side flaps. Okay, so next step in my template, I'm going to turn the page onto page 3 of this template, and we're going to form the bag. So we're going to tuck the small flaps in. We're going to lift up the sides of the bag and adhere the two sides together like so. Okay, so now when I created this bag for the first time, I had tucked those little flaps in and then glued the sides together. But I'm going to come back and fix that in a minute. So let's just keep going, and then I'll show you where I made the change. So I'm going to adhere those sides together. I'm going to apply adhesive to one side of that cardstock. I'm going to fold that little flap in and then stand the two pieces up and then get them lined up and adhere this together. I'm just going to use my hand to press those pieces and then grab my bone folder and really give it a good burnish to make sure it's attached. Okay, then I'm going to do that to the other side. I'm going to tuck that little flap in and apply adhesive to that little side flap and then attach it to the other side. Okay, so once I did this, I realized that on the inside of my box, those two little flaps were kind of in the way. And also there was like a little gap where stuff could fall out the side. So I opened my bag back up and then I flipped that little tiny flap to sandwich it in the two sides. So this works a lot better. When you take that little flap and sandwich it in between the two side flaps, then we create a sturdy base with no gaps. So I'm just going to reapply adhesive to seal that up. And then there's nothing on the inside of the bag that's going to get in the way. And then there's no gaps as well. So it's just cleaner and more cohesive. And I think it'll be a bit stronger too. Okay, so I do that to both sides and voila, here we go. Our bag is almost complete. A few more steps to go. You could stop here if you wanted, but I like to add handles to my bag. So I'm just going to take a hole punch and I'm going to punch in a hole on either side of the top of the bag, about an inch away from the corners. And then I've got some baker's twine here. I'm just going to thread this through. You could use anything you've got here. You could even go as far as using little eyelets to reinforce those holes. But I'm just going to use baker's twine today, and I'm going to feed it through the first hole and the second hole and then the third hole. I'm going to drop that little end into the bag. I'm going to take the other end and feed it through that final hole. So the purpose of this is so that when I tie my knot, it's going to be on the inside of the bag, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to tie that, and then I'm going to snip off those little excess tails. And then when I pick up my handles, I'm not going to ever have to worry about if they're symmetrical or even. Just whenever I pick it up, it's going to automatically give the right amount of slack on both sides. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is just cinch the top. I'm just going to pinch those little corners together to create a little bit of a point. You don't have to do this, but I like doing that. It gives it sort of like a semi-closed feel, and I like the way that it looks. Okay, so I'm actually a liar, and it's not the last thing that I'm going to do. I've got one more last thing to do here. I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock to create a little bit of additional support in the base of our bag. So I've got a piece of black cardstock here, and I'm going to grab a trimmer, and I'm going to cut this piece down to 5 3/4 inches. You could probably do 5 7/8 if you wanted that base to be just a little bit more snug. And then I'm going to rotate that cardstock and cut at 2 3/4. You could also additionally do 2 7/8. I just like the 3/4 measurements because I find it a little bit easier. And then I'll pop this into the bottom of the bag. And that's it. Our gift bag is complete. So this holds quite a bit of stuff. I've got a bunch of ink pads and some dies I'm going to stick in here, and it'll hold everything nicely, and I'm not worried about it falling apart. We've got some pretty good adhesive, and everything is sealed together nicely, and the bag is nice and sturdy. So this little gift bag is just the tip of the iceberg with my new book about boxes and bags. I have a ton of templates in here, from A2 card boxes, A7 card boxes, big huge card boxes, bags of many sizes, even little tag boxes, and so much more. It's just filled with inspiration and ideas, and I've worked out all of the measurements for you so that you don't have to worry about that. And then I've included a few sheets of graph paper at the back of this book so that if you're inspired to create your own template, you've got a little space to do that. You can write your little measurements on the left-hand side and draw out your little images in the graph paper. You'll find the link in the description down below to my website where you can purchase these books. They are available for shipping across US and Canada. And I also have the digital download copies where you can download them and print them yourself. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. Coming up on screen are a couple of videos I think you may enjoy, including the entire playlist of my Chop It Up series. This series is filled with inspiration for you to get crafty in your space. Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed the content you've seen here today, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Have yourself a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!